Okay, today is going to be a little bit of a different video. I am going to kind of talk about a new gimbal that I got. I already do have a video on my channel where I used a different gimbal, but it actually couldn't support my camera setup. Now, if you don't know, the camera that I use is the Canon M50. With that, I use the Sigma 16mm 1.4 lens, and the issue I had with the other gimbal is that it simply could not support that heavy lens with a ND filter, a variable ND filter. So that's why I went ahead and got this new gimbal that came out from Zhiyun. Not certain that I'm saying that correctly, but this thing is a beast. I've only used it for a little bit so far, and I have to say I absolutely love it. So this gimbal is a little bit on the pricier side, but videos, they don't do this justice. When you see this gimbal in person, this thing is a monster. It is massive. So my tiny Canon M50 would definitely fly on some of these smaller gimbals, but why not buy once and then grow back into it? So I bought this anticipating eventually I'll probably move into a full frame camera setup, and I don't think this gimbal right here will have any issues. So let me show you guys kind of what comes in this. Okay, so like I said, this is the Zhiyun Crane 2S. This is their brand new gimbal that just came out recently, I believe. It is one of their flagships aside from the Crane 3S, which is a really big gimbal. So we'll get the packaging out of the way. This is the case that it comes with inside of that box, and I've never been a huge fan, but I do like that they come with a case that you can keep everything in. It is a little bit on the bulky side, but nonetheless, it is still a nice thing to have. So opening it up, as I said, this thing is absolutely massive. So we have the charger, the different slides to attach the cameras to here, and there is one thing that, I'll get to this here in just a second, that isn't described in any of the instructions. If you watch other videos, you'll see that people have talked about how you can modify this a little bit to get a better angle with the arms, and I haven't flown it yet like this, but I did finally take this piece off. So anyway, this gimbal, looking at it in the case, this is a very safe case to transport this in. I'm not certain that it's very travel friendly if you're limited on space, but again, if you're worried about just keeping it safe, the case that this comes in is perfect. It does use 18650 batteries, which I've already got installed in the handle. I'll show you that here briefly. I don't want this to be too much of a unboxing video or anything, so I'm just going to kind of show you the gimbal overall. But there you go, there's the 3 batteries. Again, there's the charger. And if I get this set up, I'll show you somewhat how this sits with a camera on it. Obviously, I can't show you with the camera that I am using for this video, which is my main camera, but I'll show you so it kind of will show you what it looks like with a camera on it. Anyways, we'll go ahead and do that, and then afterwards I'll show you some video that I have captured with my main camera using this just almost out of the box. I didn't make any changes. It does have a little auto adjust, which will change the motor settings once you have everything balanced, and you don't have to mess with any of the gain settings or anything. So it's really a almost ready to go gimbal. We'll show you those shots here shortly. Okay, so as you can see, I have a different camera mounted up here on the gimbal now that it's out. I've already gone ahead and balanced everything, and it is already on. This thing is absolutely amazing. I really am so happy that I finally went ahead and bit the bullet to get a larger gimbal. Now, this thing does get pretty heavy. I do have the tripod grip back here that screws into the bottom, and this is usually how I'm going to use the camera with this gimbal. It has several different settings on this little screen, and overall, like I said, I am just blown away by how smooth this setup is. I do need to kind of work on my ninja walk for using the gimbal. That is, when you look really funny, you're kind of crouched and soft stepped. So I need to work on that, but the gimbal has done so much. And this is actually very valuable for me because the camera that I have, again, which is the Canon M50, does not have any sort of stabilization. It has electronic stabilization, which if you've used, it's not very impressive. It does an okay job with really minor things, but I mean, if I was doing this with my M50, On the gimbal, it's fine, but if I was doing that in person, just we're holding the camera handheld, that footage would be absolutely useless. So without any more, and I'm not really an unboxing guy, let me show you some of the footage that I've captured just getting started with this gimbal.